Hi everyone, my name is Amy Liss. My partner Amber Nesbitt and I are the co-founders of Campus Integrity Group. Today we're going to talk about an important skill that supports student safety and healthy development in K-12 schools, and that is consent and boundaries. Consent and boundaries are often misunderstood as topics only relevant to older students. In reality, these are foundational safety and relationship skills that begin developing in early childhood. Why does this matter in K through 12 schools? Because consent and boundaries help students understand personal autonomy, communicate comfort versus discomfort, respect others' limits, and navigate relationships safely. It's about giving students practical tools, giving them skills that help them interact safely with peers, adults, and the broader world. Effective education is introduced early, reinforced over time, adapted to age and developmental level, and integrated into everyday learning. Many schools approach this topic through a single assembly or annual presentation. While those can be helpful, they are not sufficient on their own. Students build these skills the same way they build other social and safety skills, through repetition, modeling, and reinforcement over time. And this can be integrated into existing areas like classroom expectations, social and emotional learning, digital citizenship, and health education. It does not have to be a standalone curriculum to be effective. Young students learn to respect personal space, ask permission before touching, and understand that they have the right to grant permission before somebody touching them, recognize others' comfort levels, and express their own boundaries. At this stage, the focus is basic respect and awareness, not complex situations. In upper elementary and middle school, students begin to recognize pressure and influence, practice clear communication, identify uncomfortable situations, and understand social boundaries. As social interactions become more complex, students need more advanced communication skills. During middle and high school, topics should include peer relationships, digital communication, social expectations, and respect in involving relationships. At this level, the focus remains on safety, communication, and respect. This includes helping students understand peer pressure, recognizing unhealthy dynamics, and navigating digital communication responsibly. And much of this overlaps with what schools are already teaching around bullying prevention, online safety, and healthy relationships. This is about preparing students for situations they are already encountering. Students benefit from understanding that boundaries exist in multiple areas of their lives. It does not just have to be physical contact. However, physical boundaries do exist. They can be as simple as a student not wanting to hug a classmate or not wanting someone to sit too close to them. Also includes understanding that no one should touch their body in ways that make them uncomfortable. And then we have emotional boundaries. This could involve the peer pressuring of a student to share a secret, to engage in behavior they don't want to participate in, or making them feel guilty for saying no. Emotional boundaries help students recognize manipulation or pressure. And then digital boundaries. This includes situations like someone repeatedly messaging a student when they don't respond, asking for photos, or sharing private conversations or images without permission. Students need to understand they have control over their digital interactions. Authority-based boundaries. This is especially important in schools. Students should understand that adults in position of authority, teachers, coaches, staff, they have professional roles and responsibilities. Private messaging unrelated to school, asking students to keep secrets, giving special treatment to a student, they can create confusion and cross professional boundaries. Teaching these distinctions helps students recognize when something doesn't feel right and supports earlier reporting and intervention. Generally speaking, most serious misconduct does not begin with clearly illegal behavior. It often starts with actions that may seem minor or even positive at first. So we have extra attention. An adult consistently seeks out one student for conversation, offers additional help beyond what other students receive, or singles them out for praise. And then favoritism, allowing one student special privileges, such as spending time alone in a classroom, helping with tasks that don't require assistance, or giving them access to spaces other students don't have. Private communication, messaging a student outside of school channels, texting late at night, or communicating through social media rather than school-approved platforms. and testing limits. This may include small physical gestures that escalate over time, asking students to keep secrets, or gradually shifting conversations from school-related topics to personal matters. Individually, these behaviors may not immediately trigger alarm, but patterns matter. Helping students and staff recognize early boundary crossing behaviors allows schools to intervene earlier and prevent escalation. When students reflect back, they often say such things as, "I didn't realize it was wrong at the time. I thought I was the only one. I didn't know I could say no, and I didn't know who to tell." One of the most consistent patterns in school misconduct cases is that students do not always recognize concerning behavior right away. Many students initially interpret attention from adults as positive, supportive, or normal. Others may feel uncomfortable but lack the language or confidence to respond. And this is why education around boundaries is so important. It helps students recognize concerns earlier and understand that they have the right to speak up. Often, the issue isn't that students fail to report. It's that they were never given the tools to recognize the situation clearly. Teaching these concepts early changes that. So how does boundary and consent education support student safety? Students will recognize concerning behavior sooner. They'll trust their instincts, seek help sooner, and communicate concerns more clear. Students often sense when something feels uncomfortable before they have the language to explain it. So teaching boundaries gives them that language. It also helps students understand that it is appropriate to seek help, even if they're not sure whether something counts. Staff play a critical role. They should model appropriate behavior, understand boundaries themselves, receive clear training, and know how to respond to concerns. Students learn as much from observation as they do from instruction. Clear boundaries and clear expectations protect everyone. They protect students and staff, reduce misunderstandings, and support professional relationships. It's not just about student protection. These clear expectations also protect staff from false allegations and help maintain professionalism. Schools with clear guidance experience fewer problems overall. How do families fit into this? Clear communication reduces misunderstanding. When parents hear consent education, they may assume it involves explicit topics. In reality, most of the content focuses on respect, personal space, and communication. Providing examples and explaining the safety purpose helps families understand the value. Schools that are transparent tend to see greater trust and support. Successful programs are transparent, age and developmentally appropriate, focused on safety and respect, and communicated clearly with parents. Consent education is proactive, not reactive. It plays a critical role in prevention. Consent education helps schools strengthen student safety, support early reporting, clarify expectations, and reduce risk. So what's the key takeaway? Teaching consent and boundaries gives students lifelong safety skills. Preparation helps them seek support when needed, communicate clearly, and recognize concerns. It's about preparation, empowerment, and safety. It's about prevention, not reaction. And that wraps up today's video on boundary and consent education. Thank you for joining us. And if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out via our website, email us at info@campusintegritygroup.com, or give us a call at 312-442-0665. And thanks again, and we'll see you next time.